So we're coming back from Home Depot. Decided I need some rain boots, and just some old muck boots work for me. It's kind of funny because the way this worked out, we were at one store and they had one pair in my size if I put in arch supports and socks and all that stuff, and wear double socks. They gave it to me half off. Well, it was their last pair. We got it home and turned out that there was already a hole cut in the heel. So we just took it to another store and explained all that stuff, and they let me just get a new pair. So, but they didn't have the larger size. So it'll be like single pair of socks and arch supports and I'll be good. But coming from getting that done, we're at a place where like really good things are happening. Just been listening again to Bible studies day and night. If you've been with me, it's probably been 5-6 years, maybe longer, more like 10 years off and on, but really steady for like the last 6 years. And the things that I'm hearing, it says faith comes by hearing, and it's an aorist tense in Greek, which means continually hearing over and over again. It's like really taking root. So I have some joy. Got some interesting stuff going on. I've been loaning one of my vehicles to a friend who wrecked it yesterday, and they were afraid, it was totaled and everything else, and I had joy and peace in the whole thing. Got it, off of that site, and know that it's going to be repaired, or I'll sell it and make more money off it than it cost me. It's just going to come out good. Great things are happening. A whole lot of other stuff like that where it looks bad on the surface, but he's blessing me and blessing me and blessing me. There's a reason for starting this, and I'm not quite remembering what it was. What was it? Well, that was part of it. That was a big thing. I was thinking about the other video, the one where he was throwing up and stuff, how that would look, and the changes in our life and in what's gone on, in the time. That's what it is. So again, we ended up with 3 vehicles. And we ended up with we have Apple stock, and we have Berkshire Hathaway stock, and we have that, not a lot, a few $100, maybe $500-600 total in stock, but we may have paid like $200 for all of it. We have these little apps or programs where when we signed up, we got some stock free, and by introducing some other people, we got some more, and then we've started adding like $20 a month to some of this stuff, and it's all for his college and for his future. And now that I don't have any, I have college, I have some student loans, but other than that, I don't really have any other debt. Everything else is wiped out. It's gone. It's over. I had child support rating my accounts for like 20 years, almost 30 years. And there's a lot of depth to that. It was a hook, it was a trap to have the kids to, gain that authority and that power and all that other stuff. And I fought that and nearly destroyed myself. I really did destroy myself in fighting that. And now it's all come about full circle. And my life is a much more serene, much more calm, much more beautiful place. The Lord is working on me and my anger stuff. And I realized it's not really mine. It was, I got there was a lot of attack. There was a lot of instilling anger in me by people whose job was to help make me a better person. And again, I'm not blaming them, but I really see that, and it's like, wow, I'm free from that now. What else? There's a woman I know who has some schizophrenia, some other stuff, and she called last night. My name's James, and so I go by what my birth certificate says now. My birth certificate says James Adams II. The police thing and all the other stuff for a very long time has said James Adams, or my driver's license and other stuff for a long time. The state said James Adams Jr., and that's not what's on my birth certificate. So I refuse to go by it. That's what I put on my social security card, my driver's license, and on all of the correspondence that I have. It's even on my, on everything I do. So, she had me down as James Jr., which is another friend that she has. So she called me and she was like, hey, you're not Tim. How'd you steal his number? That kind of thing. Kind of went off on me. And it was like, lady, you called me. I didn't steal anybody's number. And she was going through it. She just couldn't figure that out. But she wanted to fight about it. And I finally had to say, hey, listen, I'm watching a movie with my kid. I got to let you go. So we did that. And later on, like an hour later, she called back. She's like, oh my God, I got it. I texted a mutual friend and said, hey, this friend is going through some stuff, worse than mine, and I figured it would go through that chain and get to that person. I hope that it did. Not sure that it did. It may have just been that she, snapped out of it, whatever else. So she called me back and she's like, hey, this is what's going on. I was like, hey, I'm still at the movie, but I got you. Don't trip. Later on, I was able to write a text and just say, hey, I've been Don Quixote. I spent most of my life trying to fight everything as if it were a monster, now realizing that it wasn't. That the monsters were all projections of my and others' imaginations. We don't have to do this. You're okay. And being able to give that grace, that forgiveness, that sense of, hey, I'm glad that you're alive. It was a potent thing. It felt really good. It feels really good. In the places where I'm able to give and to help promote life and bless others, that's really exciting for me. I'm not doing everything that I want to be doing, and I'm not doing everything that comes to mind, but there's a lot of good stuff, and it's really making whole, new and better. I used to live in this neighborhood 20 some odd years ago. It's kind of funny. That fence over there was built because of a young man. He's probably 30 now. He was about 12 at the time, something like that. He used to go fishing in their pond, and they'd catch him all the time and call the police on him. And then they started building like this little fence around that place, like piecemeal. Used to work at that gas station, sit there all night with a dumbbell and pump iron between watching people come. Anyway, so that's my little nostalgia in this. Really getting blessed. My son is growing into a pretty decent person, a good man, and we're getting more order, we're getting rid of some of the clutter. We're drawing good boundaries and having more good things in our life, and that is just amazing. Just the peace in that. I have some friends. There's a country song, that says I have some friends I could call and they'll be here real fast, and I really do. And I do the same for them, and it's like having a close family who, sometimes we're not always that close, but we lean on each other and we trust each other and we care for each other. Working on rebuilding the ties with my grandmother's family and the layers and my grandmother's family is really huge, and I didn't know a lot of them or most of them. It's kind of weird. I knew some, and there's probably thousands of us here in this one city. I was able to start a Facebook page the other day and just start inviting people and asking them to invite others, trying to build that sense of at least this is who we are as a family, so that we know each other. We had one of the children died. Was actually killed in my old neighborhood about a month ago now. And a friend who helps a ministry that serves food and that kind of thing at such events called me and said, hey, I'd like you to be there with me because I'm white and everybody else there isn't. And I said, a cousin was talking about this this funeral, maybe I should go. And she said, well, I don't know if the Brents would want you to go. And I was like, oh, I'm a Brent. You know, we got to laugh about it. And we got to the funeral. Cousins who I haven't seen in decades were there, and it was like, they were like, Jimmy, you know, good to see you. You have to have changed my diapers or been a kid with me to call me that name. Anyway, they, you know, it was a sense of belonging, of real family. And I'm trying to grow that, not just for myself, but for my son and others, for future generations. Passing. This is one of my favorite McDonald's here. I stop here for tea all the time. So I could just talk forever, and I shouldn't. I hope that you guys are blessed and are doing well and wonderful. And yes, I'm going to do the shameless plug. I'm probably going to put one or two of the programs where he has stock on here, and if you sign up, you get a free stock. He gets another free stock. I'd really appreciate that. Oh, that was the other thing, was that so Apple just did dividends yesterday, and it was like 11 cents a share. Well, we have 3 shares in one account, and then I got an email. Oh, I forgot we had this other account that we had signed up for before, and we got 2 shares in that one, and he got dividends on that. And it was like, wow, this is growing. We're actually building wealth. My mentor John has talked to me about capital gains and the cost of selling stock, which is not pretty. About a third automatically goes to them. So we're not going to be doing that for 20 years or more, if ever. I would like to roll it over into a what is it? A trust for him. I'd like to roll over everything, the vehicles, the accounts, everything into a trust, and just keep building that and making it something that he has, and then something which gets passed on to his children and so on. On the idea of like seeing that, because I kind of imagined it as a kid. I knew that was mine and it belonged there, but this long crazy trail has moved far away from there, and God just did it in like 90 days. Maybe 6 months for parts of it. The stock was there 6 months. The debts were gone. Been gone for about the last 90 days. Other stuff like that. It's gotten good. It's a beautiful thing. It's turning into a really beautiful life. Joseph, you want to say bye-bye? All right. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Be blessed. Stay out of the rain. Stay out of the cold. Love somebody. Be real. Know that Jesus is Lord. It's an awesome thing. If you get a chance, I really like Dr. Bill Winston. He went to Tuskegee. He grew up there in that area. Went into the Air Force, was a fighter pilot. Lives in Chicago. Has a church there. Their church owns the mall. Their church has its own bank. Just done some major things following the template of George Washington Carver, who was my hero as a child. Maybe I'll put a link to one of his playlists in here as well. Okay, really saying bye. Y'all have a good day.